wouldn't life be easy? Wouldn't it be better? Instead of having to knock down doors, give proposals, then follow up again. It's a struggle. And this is what I love about Reena's books, because it's a practical method towards understanding how to be a business owner and how to practically move with your business. Now, for those who have mixed around, I've seen you all mixing around. I'd like to ask Lakisha, who have you met? What are their names? What do they do? And what's their business challenge?
Okay, so I am not very good with names. However, I know that he's a videographer. He's called Bob, I've remembered. And then I met that beautiful lady. I can't remember her name. But we have exchanged contacts with all of them.
Very good. Let's clap for Lakisha. At least she tried. She might not remember names, but she exchanged contacts. It's a good start. All right. I'll also ask you, who have you met and what did you learn about them?
Well, I think so. This is a good opportunity to meet. At the end of the day, there are a couple of guys I met from the media. That's all group. I met our friend here. He's doing a medical software. I met some other gentleman on that side. He's a chartered accountant in a business traveling group. So yes, we are on the go. Thank you.
Let's give him a warm hand. I think I'll ask one of the young men in front here, who have you met?
Okay, so even me, I forgot his name, but I met the videographer. I also met Al Nasir, and I met those gentlemen over there. Yes. Thank you.
Let's do one. Who would like to volunteer at least before I point out? All right, I'll just go here.
Good morning. I met Mr. Al Nasir. You know, he's a very good businessman and he's very reputed. And we appraise, you know, he has given us time and he introduced. He's a very humble guy. And I got the opportunity to meet Bob. Bob is a video and photographer. I think he will take nice pictures. Okay, Bob is the most famous person in this room.
All right. Bob, you're doing well for yourself. Clap for yourself as well. Let's clap for the gentleman as well. Fantastic. All right, now let me tell you how I met Reena. So I met Reena because of basically I have a podcast called Women by Excellence where we try to showcase and highlight women in leadership. And she reached out to me on LinkedIn and she wanted to talk about her FPO method, which we're going to be learning a little bit more about today. And I loved how forward she was and how she also talked about her podcast, which she's very, very passionate about, which is Unleash and Thrive, and then also the work that she does with SMEs. And when she came into the podcast, it was a breath of fresh air because she did not hold back. She talked about her experience because imagine, she's worked in over 19 countries. Did you know that? Over 19 countries, leading in the CFO space. So yes, let's give a warm hand for Reena. And she's done amazing, amazing work and continue to do it. I've seen it practically myself with also the training that she does with individuals, with companies, not only in finance, but also in AI. She takes time to learn. And when she's learning, she's also teaching, which again is a valuable trait because a lot of us did not get that valuable lesson, that practical lesson. We learned from the streets, we learned from mistakes, we learned on our own. But when somebody's holding your hand, even with the guidance of this book, it really sets you on the path towards success. So, apart from me who knows Reena, let's invite people who intimately know Reena. We're going to start off with talking to Reena's family. Let's have her sons, and Santosh, please. We'll start off first off with the younger son. Give it up for Amir.
Okay, so hello everyone, and I'm here to talk about obviously Reena Gore, what we're all here for, and then the great book. So let's get started. Decoding Reena Gore is, thank you, a gap between business and the people. This is the management gap. And this isn't like those fantasy stories and like the theories which are just put on the book and like do whatever you want with them. But no, this is actual ground reality. She's actually like gone in the field and like taken like notes and practical lessons and founded it off of this book, obviously. But no one puts in a book, she puts the experiences and the actual learning experiences into a book that no one actually puts because they don't want to put it out for the public. But this is not Reena Gore. She is an identity on her own. For everyone to connect this gap is what this book is for. But she is the bridge. She's an icon, a star, a legend, and the best mama ever in the solar system. This is Reena Gore, the author of Recharge and Restart, the previous book, the author of this great book, Decoding Business Growth. I hope this book sells hundreds of thousands of copies. And not to forget, she's an AI expert with multiple career expertises, and the best, a mother, the best one in eons and eons and decades to come. Whether it be taking care of us, or taking care of like delegating work or handling its problems, she does it fantastically. Or whether it be family issues, she's, perfected at that. This book summarizes the physical knowledge, but behind the mastermind of a great. I hope this book encourages everyone to obviously decode businesses, and I hope this knowledge is spread out to everyone, known and unknown people, and everyone sitting here. I hope that this is just not a book. This is a legacy start, a tradition which is carried on forever and ever. 10 years down the line, it should be, Decoding like Business Growth is the best book, and like big CEOs use that for their companies. That is the motive. That is the legacy that this book has started. This is not even what I've said today, is hardly a speck of what the real Reena Gore is. Thank you so much.
Let's give it up, yes. I love that. Listen, if you ever want to know if you're truly great, listen to your children first, okay? Because they never hide away from you. Now I'll ask Advait as well to come up. Let's give a warm hand as he steps up to the microphone.
Okay, hello everyone. Good morning. I hope everyone is doing well. First of all, I would like to start by saying thank you. Thank you to everyone. I would like to start by thanking Myra, Sammy, and their entire team of wonderful people who have arranged everything so beautifully for us today. And I would like to thank all of our distinguished guests for coming here today. And now I will read my speech. Now I will read my speech for her. Dear Mom, ever since I was a child, you taught me to always believe in myself. Even when the world knocked me down, you taught me to stand up for myself. You are the reason I did not limit myself by my own perception. Thank you for always believing in me, even when I did not believe in myself. Thank you for always being my courage, my confidence, my will to live, and for being the best mother a child could have ever asked for. Watching you write this book and your whole journey so far has been incredibly inspiring, nothing but inspiring. For me, how you manage everything in life, from your insane work ethic to your dedication for anything in life, is beyond human. Even after a tiring day, how you come home and spend the time with us without me ever finding out how exhausted and stressed out your day was is nothing short of extraordinary. You are truly the GOAT. Since the first moment I read your book, which was the draft on your laptop, if you remember, I knew that what you have done is revolutionary. Add that to your personality and skill set, which you have put in so much work and so much effort, countless days and nights to build up, is beyond astonishing. It makes me extremely proud to see you out there every day, so articulate when you talk. Every moment of my life, I am grateful for having you with me. You're truly out there, making a difference where it matters. May you be forever blessed, and may your book become extremely successful and sell lots and lots and lots of copies. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Much love, Advait.
Wow, let's give it up for Advait. Amazing, amazing speeches. And of course, again, it just gives an attribute not only to Reena, but to the work, the tireless nights she had to put this together. It's amazing. Now, we always say behind every strong woman is an even amazing man, right? So let's give it up for Santosh, husband to Reena, as he walks up and gives his tribute.
Thank you. I think my boys have made me emotional. I don't know where to begin. It's a long journey. Over 26 years with Reena have been fantastic. So just getting back to the point, she has fought many battles in life. At the same time, stood up strong. She has undergone very many surgeries. Never gave up, stood up for me and the boys. So that respect and that salute will always remain throughout my life. Having said that, I would like to start by first thanking each one of you to be here. It's much appreciated. Myra and the team, thank you very much. It's a job well done. So congratulations, Reena. Wishing you a lot of success. May your day be absolutely memorable. When I think of you, I see a person who is willingly to sacrifice anything and everything for her family. Her dedication and ability to work hard and commit to achieving goals is like no one else. The fact that she can work tirelessly is just incredible. Getting exhausted the whole day, the whole week, but she never complains. She's always there for us. As my boy said, words fall short. Having said that, Reena, you are special to me and family, and will always be. Throughout my life, you have always stood through my highs and lows, and I really appreciate it. And I wish you all the very best. May your book sell like no tomorrow and succeed in life. All I would say is God bless, and I'm there with you and the boys. Thank you so much.
Give a warm hand for Santosh one more time. Again, what a testimony, what a testament to Reena's great work. Again, she's not only a woman in business, she's a powerhouse. And getting to know her is getting to know greatness. So Reena, once again, amazing, amazing work. You've heard it from your boys, you've heard it from your family. We also would like to hear from your mentor as well. He's a business owner. He owns a travel company, but also has not only amazing accolades, but also has worked with Reena through the journey. I think the good thing about Reena is that she lets you into her life once you get to know her. And she tells you all the people who impact her. But she doesn't only do that, she introduces you very well. Listen, I only told her once about what I do, but she's over here just laying out my CV even better than ChatGPT. So even for the people who are in her life, she manages to talk about them in a very glowing way, and you want to get to know them as well. So I would like, in that note, to introduce our next guest, who I'm also going to be very excited to know later on today. He is Reena's mentor, and he continues to work with her with the journey. let's give it up for Stiar Muthi. Karibu sana. Let's give a warm hand. Thank you. No problem. It's all right.
Thank you, Myra, for, for that introduction, which I'm not sure is warranted or not warranted. It was great. Thank you so much. And I want to now, he could have written your foreword to the book. Congratulations, that was a fantastic speech. For your age, amazing. I could see no fear. It's amazing. Lots of blessings from me and to you also. And Santosh, of course, as usual, the man behind not you at all times. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I took some time to write a speech because she told me. So I said, okay, let me do that. Good morning again. Let me tell you something. I was a bit lost because I didn't expect Reena to ask me to speak and at this launch. She says that please say a few words. And I've just condensed into few words. I don't want to spend much time on formalities, and let's get to the business of the day. A lot has been covered by Myra herself in whatever she told us. So I think it's a great speech. Thank you. It's a grand launch of the book, Decoding Business Growth. You know, all the three words mean a lot. You can put it the other way around, growth with decoding, and there's no business without growth, without decoding. So whichever way you look at it, the title itself, I think is amazing. Whoever came with it, congratulations. Fantastic. Now, you know this word called coding. I learned it from my grandson, the 14-year-old. And I couldn't understand much. So he said, your IQ is low. So this is the very, very extremely well used word in today's world. And the development of AI, you know, for us, we guys, I was born much, much earlier. And we were taught without even an access to a calculator. So you can imagine where we came from. And today, there is nothing that happens without these kind of helps. The only thing I would always recommend children is do not give up your own intelligence. Artificial intelligence is still artificial, but it comes out of a human being. So you have to develop your own skills in thinking and create your own environment for learning. So how you do it is to apply these tools in a way that helps your life, helps your business. And now let's come to the book. My feeling is that the book develops a big value by the title itself. You don't even need to go into it to know what it's all about. So the contents can say a lot more, and they do. I've not read it. I'm going to read it as I go along. The author, Reena, the little I know about her is that she has navigated her career through jobs, several challenges, small and big. Now that I see her as an independent person, talking about AI skills, improving the knowledge in people, I think it's a great service that you are giving to people to help them come to today's terms with living, with doing business, in however small or big it may be. Whatever you have said here, for instance, your understanding mainly due to your intelligence in understanding success or failure of businesses while performing or conducting the business. So this is, to me, the result is this. It has sheer focus and facing, on the subject of growing in business, how to grow business. The next book I want you to do, how to fail in business. It's a formula, how to fail. You are showing here how to succeed. Equally so, you can fail. And to my knowledge, many small businesses have failed. We don't come to know. You only read the success stories of fintechs, of any other small businesses in today's world. How many of you must have heard about the small businesses that have not succeeded, they have closed down? Excuse me, if the newspaper advertisements of today on the properties being sold is anything to go by, believe me, 50% of them are due to failure in business. And others are probably due to other reasons. But this one is very important, how you succeed in business. So my wish to all of you who are here, whether you do photography, you do videography, you do any business or job, try to bring these skills into play and you make a success of your life. Now we come to the SMEs. This book is particularly addressed to the needs of SMEs. So to my knowledge, it is not just a treatise. It is a guide for all businesses, including mine. We are running a travel and tourism business for the last many years, perhaps not realizing where we could have missed the boat, missed the bus, So it tells you how to not to do that. So kindly be well informed that this book is a great attempt at telling the businesses how to grow. And I'm really proud of you. What else I need to say? Yes, I want to now, nothing short of complimenting you and the support you have received from the children and, of course, Santosh. And wish you a very, very successful journey in all your other endeavors, all the endeavors that you have. I know we have a lot of things in your mind, and we can share some of them, and perhaps find the path to success in all your ventures. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for the opportunity. And now we wait for the launch of the book. Thank you.
I think we can do a little bit better than that. Please give it up one more time. Listen, you guys have been given free advice. I feel like it's for free. So I hope you are taking down notes. One thing that he has mentioned, yes, artificial intelligence is artificial at the end of the day. We use it to enhance the knowledge we already possess. And one thing I've learned along the way that Reena's done really well is get a mentor. This is one thing, especially for the youngins in the room. Make sure you try and identify a mentor who can walk with you. I wish I knew this. Sometimes I look at my friends, I'm like, how did they start flying out of the country so soon? And how did they start, making money? And it's only because they were willing to speak up. I think during our podcast, Reena, you said, use your voice. Speak about yourself. Be your best marketer. And when you are, at least, you'll find the right people in the room, and only find the right people in the room, you'll also be able to market yourself and learn what people like. Learn the failures as well as what works for your business. Now, I am hoping that as you walked in, you didn't go straight for the breakfast table. You managed to look at the book. I saw a few of you go through the book, the display table at the front. So the book looks like this, Decoding Business Growth. Now, if you look at your table talkers in front of you, you will see a QR code as well as the website to Reena's website. That's Reena-Gore.net. But if you pull out your phone and scan the QR code, it will lead you directly to a site where you're able to learn more about the book, but not only learn about the book, find out how to order. So once you complete that order, you are able to complete a form, and the book will be sent right to you. But I'm not saying that, Tati, because you are here, you can't buy the book. No, you can buy the book. There is a M-Pesa number right there on the desk. I'm hoping we'll all leave with a copy of the book today. It's also available at Nuria bookstores right now, so get your copy as well. Now, the only thing that I also encourage you, if you're running a business, don't keep the secrets to yourself. Get this for your workers as well. Get this for your staff. Get this for your managers. Because again, it's a cheat sheet to decoding business growth, all right? Now, the other thing I'd like you to do as you're holding on to your phones, please follow Reena's pages. She's Reena Gore on all platforms. Yani, she's the only Reena Gore I know, so I think it will be very easy to find her. So look for her on LinkedIn. She's also on TikTok, very active there as well. On YouTube, she has a very vibrant page. And did I say LinkedIn? LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram. And make sure you follow her. And also check out her website as well as we continue. Don't only support, but learn, right? Because she's always posting, always. And she's always posting immeasurable amounts of gems. All right. Now, I want us to, in your classroom, just get into the classroom just a little bit, right? I'd like to ask a few questions for those who maybe would like to venture into the business world already in it, right? Let's do a quick quiz just to, break the ice kidogo. So let me ask a question and any one of you can answer. If you made 1 million shillings in sales this month, but only had 10,000 shillings in your account, would you say your business is A, successful, B, in trouble, C, it depends? Ronnie, please come and help me with the microphone. Anybody can just answer this. So I'll ask again. If you made 1 million shillings in sales this month, but only had 10,000 in your account, would you say your business is successful, B, in trouble, C, it depends? Behind you, Ronnie? There we go.
I will say your business is in trouble.
Why is that?
You made 1 million in sales, and you have 10,000
Yes.
in your bank account.
Yes.
Where did the 900,990 went to go to?
Okay, so I'll give it to the expert, Reena. What do you think about that?
I would say you are in trouble, but it depends because sales does not mean cash flows. So we need to understand that.
All right. Next question. Which is harder? Finding customers, keeping customers, getting customers to pay on time? Tena hapo kwa C. Can somebody give me the answer to that? Which is harder? Finding customers, keeping customers, getting customers to pay on time? And because Wendy, I heard you laugh out loud on that one, let's give the microphone to Wendy. Which is harder?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I was laughing because I was just, my character quickly flashed in my mind, and I was like, which one would be more difficult for me? I think getting them to pay on time. That would be, it would be hectic. Yeah.
I was going to actually ask you, so let's get the cosign on microphone. Ronnie, could we please give our guest so he can give his testimony to that? Yes, so we talked about, I think we're all over here having PTSD, getting customers to pay on time. You said absolutely that's the hardest part.
See, one of the advices I would give from experience,
Yes.
I can tell you, as long as you can manage, avoid giving credit. Now, you got to really evaluate your customers in terms of credibility. It's possible to run a successful business. We'll go back to the first question. You had a $1 million shilling turnover, but you got only 10K in your bank.
Mm-hmm.
Where did it go? Yes, after meeting costs, you're making a profit. So that profit should be in your books, in your bank, primarily. But why is it not there? Because you just decided to give it away. So this, I'm talking from experience. And believe me, for all those who would like to run small businesses or medium-sized, some of the large corporations might sound very enticing, very, very enticing. But it's, food you say, it's in the how you taste it. It's in the taste of the food, it's in the pudding. Once you taste it, you realize it's not easy to deal with them because sometimes they can be very bureaucratic. The whole system works differently. So you could please make an assessment of who you deal with is very important. That's why many a times I always believe the retail shops are far better. The guy who doesn't give you even a glass of water, please put money first. So this is a success. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's give a warm hand, even to Wendy as well. Absolutely. Let me tell you. Can I give my history? Kidogo. To be very honest, it's just as he mentioned. Sometimes also working with, we aim to get the bigger companies, the corporates, the multinationals. It also looks good on our resume when you go to our website or whether you're writing, working with so and so. But the real hustle is in chasing that money. Am I right? You're told 45 days, they go on to 90, and you're told, they still this, you haven't given in your KRA pin, you give in your KRA pin. Oh yeah, you have given in your KRA pin, but now we need an affidavit from your lawyer. And you're like, for what? Am I getting married? I think there's so many things you're asked to give, and therefore we run to them, and I think when we spoke about this again with Reena, we forget even the SMEs and MSMEs, right? There's one thing we've realized with time, is that they have a little bit of disposable income, and decision making is a little bit faster with them. So sometimes as you're, looking for any, but to look for the bigger companies, balance it out. Also don't forget the ones who are still trying to grow, because all of us are trying to get out there in one way or another and need your resource. So make sure it's available to everyone. All right. Now, I'll ask one more question. So, this is now a question that I'd like somebody to give a testimony. Who has ever had a client say, finance is processing your payment, and 2 weeks later, finance is apparently still processing? I think we just talked about this. Who has had that? Corazon, yes, Corazon, please.
I am in the steel industry, and as you have said, majority of our clients are usually big corporates, and as you said, they usually tend to request you to give them at least credit, 45 days, 90 days. So we have almost 10 on our list. We are still following up. Till date, it's been 6 months. We're still waiting for their finance to process their payments. Yeah. A client will tell you, oh, yeah, I remember Corazon. Let me just process. Actually, I'm working on it. I'm doing the RTGS. You'll wait 2 hours later. I forgot. I'll do it tomorrow in the morning. So it's a recurring statement, which we know. And at the end of the day, we are also a corporate company, and we also do the same thing. So I will have suppliers call me. So it's, I give it back.
Pay it forward.
Yes, I pay it forward.
No, it does tend to, you tend to build that bully system into yourself as well, right? Yes. You're like, it was done to me, even let me do a bit of hazing to somebody else.
Actually, I normally say I don't do it out of because I want to do it.
Right.
Our finance is still working on it. They are processing the payment.
Yes.
Yeah.
I usually wonder that processing. See, it's just a thing of just pressing a button and the money goes.
No. I believe there's an accountant here, a chartered accountant. They will tell you the process. It's a very meticulous process which they have to
Now I think we're going to invite them to Unleash and Thrive, so you can break that down. Decode the finance department for us, please. Thank you so much. Let's give it up for Corazon. So yes, these are the things that we go through. Like I said, it can be the ghetto, okay? Going through it. I remember, all right, let's have another contribution over here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
Well, basically, if you see the economic turnaround and the cash flow situation, no matter if the client is that much willing to pay, but the guy is tied down to his cash flows. However, some finance departments do take an undue advantage of the situation. And the best way through is talk to one up level on their management and brief them the total scenario. And with that, what happens is basically you follow it up with an email, including the people on the payment chains and the procurement orders. And just on a very footnote, you say that your next orders will have to be scrutinized further with your credit rating. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Let's give a warm hand. I'm loving this conversation because, again, it's bringing up a lot of experiences. Let's go over to Wendy.
I wanted to contribute and say one thing I've learned over time, because I'm also in the communication space that leans towards entertainment. Allow me to just stand so that the whole room can see me. I've learned a very big importance around building a brand and what you sell, because the marketplace oftentimes gives referrals. So do you need an MC who can do it on credit? Just call Wendy. I mean, she's really nice. You can pay her later. And I said I needed to restructure that in the marketplace, that you know me for value and you pay me. So most of the times, just to add on what he said, if you see that pattern happening to your business, you need to rewire the kind of conversations and what you accept happening to you. I would rather do 3 jobs in a year that pay me than do 100 and the half of the year I'm constantly in offices writing emails to follow up on payments, and sadly so some payments will never come. I would rather stay home, watch documentaries, than be out there, be busy, because you look good, you're constantly in meetings, you're networkings, but you don't have money. You don't look like the part that you're selling. So the thing is, rebrand yourself and don't feel sorry about turning away events. Nowadays, I'm like, let me send you the rate card. If you're comfortable working with it, please call me. If you're not, thank you. And then I say there are some that I will do charity because that is me giving back to the community. But it will take you a lot of work to grow a thick skin to say, I'm sorry, I won't do the supplies. I'm sorry, I will not show up, because they won't be feeling sorry for you when they're not paying.
In fact, Wendy, just to add on to that, and it's not taking away from your experience, it's still experience at the end of the day. You have to go through it to learn. Yeah. And that's what even Stiamuthi was saying, that the failures is something that we also need to embrace so that we're able to learn this is where we started, this is where we stop.
Correct.
Where it's a hard no. So I'll touch on, so please remind me your name. Kuji. So I'd like to touch on what Kuji has said. One thing we've learned, even working with the bigger corporations, it's all about relationships. Make sure you build, don't stick at the finance office and say, oh, no, the finance officer, I'm going to bug him every time. He's being bugged by 100 people like you, okay? But get to know the people above him, or even the people that work next to him, procurement people, they'll push for you. Yeah, even without you having to bribe them. Yeah, so it's true. So we've learned that we're like, it's so easy to say, do this for me, nitakupea kitu kidogo, sindio? We're always so used to saying that it's part of our system. But there's some people who will just do it if you just ask. Just ask and they'll do the right thing. So establish the networks and then also check how they pay, check their credit score. I like that as well. For what Wendy is also saying, I'll also attribute to that. There's one thing the owner of Vivo said, Wendy Gishuru said, even if you've put in your price and somebody doesn't accept to it, just say, it's okay. Maybe you can't afford me right now. Hopefully in future you will. Don't compromise, yes. Don't compromise on your price. Don't compromise on your values. Yes, it's good to be available. It's good to be reliable, but not to the point of stretching yourself, because it costs you. Just as Wendy has said, it costs you your time. Even that time when it takes them however long, because I've experienced it, you end up taking up loans, so you're paying your supplier quickly so that they're not on your neck every morning, or you have to pay for your bills that you are relying on with that money. So always have that value card and say, this is where I'm willing to go, and if it's not possible, then this is not the right time for us. Just like a relationship, just like a marriage. Sometimes you want to walk down that aisle, and sometimes you're saying, not today, right? All right, thank you so much for your contributions. One more, yes?
Sorry, I need to add something very important here. I do believe that every company or organization, big or small, they have a client list. Mm-hmm. And the word go is very clear. You need to sit down on your own or with your team and give a credit rating to every client.
Right.
If you have a credit rating for every client, which is based on several options of the volume and the payment and the sincerity to that, from that company to your company, I think so you at the end of the day, you can share with them when you sit on financial control systems. You can tell them basically, these are the criteria that we have fixed your credit rating, period. Right. So they know that you are doing their valuation on several issues. Thank you.
Absolutely. A credit rating is very expensive. Give a warm hand, Kurji. I love how you guys are interacting with this conversation. Let's have Bob, the famous Bob, also.
Hi, everyone. For me, I have a question to you and to Myra. Let's say you've contracted me as the videographer. I've submitted my quotation. Then you are like, okay, your budget is a bit high to what I was planning or according to my budget. So we say it's okay. For me, I work. Then you try to find another one, but the services is not the quality you want. If you come at the 9th hour, shall I accept you or shall I say, we say this no? It's no.
It depends on you now as the service provider, because the industry always takes referrals and your name will always go out. Number one, am I really pressed for that money? You need to answer that. Are you really pressed for that money? If yes, you use very good PR to go around it and take the job. If they are actually willing to pay. Because for me, if such a client goes and comes back, the discussion would be, are they able to put the deposit on the table so that we are not going to further discussions after that. So it would really depend on the attitude and the space that they come back in, and if I'm really pressed for the money. Sometimes if you walked away and the conversation was not palatable, then it's just good and goodbye. But if you come back and there are reasonable points of discussion on the table and you're willing to give the money and I need the money, I'll take the money and offer the services.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it really, truly depends on you. Let's pass on the mic. It really depends on you, to be honest. So how much persistence are you willing to be with this client, right? I know my partner usually says, Myra, you like the long game too much, but it gets me somewhere. So let him chase the shorter ones as I chase the longer ones. So it really depends on what system that you develop. You won't have it immediately, but with time you get to analyze. And when you analyze, you know how to apply it to every person you come across. Everybody is different. All right?
Thank you, Myra. So for me, I would say this, considering how the business environment looks like, that will likely be a request you'll get almost 30% of the year. And it is an opportunity for you to earn more, because if someone is going to come to you with their emergency, it means that you need to employ your urgency, and urgency comes at an added cost. So you always have to price right based on how prepared the client is. If they give you ample time, it means that you're able to employ your resources in a wise way. If they come with urgency, it means that there's so many things you have to do in a rush, and you might make some oversight. So I don't advocate for turning down clients. I advocate for having very clear procedures of approaching every opportunity, so that when it comes, it's not about do I need this or do I not need this. It is about how do we do this right, as you always do things right. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's give a warm hand. It's your setup. I think, and it still boils down to what Wendy has said. You have to put a price to your value and say, this is what I'm willing to work with or not. Because again, it comes at a cost when you don't value it. Just like the way you evaluate your company or your car, evaluate yourself and your work ethos, what you'd be willing to work with. All right. Woo, that was engaging. And you've got me doing my steps this morning. Thank you so much. So, all right. Yes.
I have a small piece of advice to all those who are starting businesses. Before you get into the venture, please do a market study of your product or service. Yes. Because you can start a business and hoping that, customers will walk in. You do a thorough market research of what your product, where it can sell, how it can sell, how the ruling market forces are working. That will give you a very good idea about which way you need to tread before you put your money into risk. That's very important for small businesses. Big businesses, forget about it. They know their job. But for us, the small businesses, startups, is very, very important. Whichever your field may be, it could be IT, it could be product selling, service selling, whatever be the case. Just study the market carefully before you take your first step. Let's put it that way. Thank you.
Before you hand over the mic, I need to ask you, because this is a wealth of knowledge that I need to take advantage of, even for the young ones in the room. Realistically, even after doing the market research, how much grace should an SME give themselves or an individual give themselves to say, okay, fine, my business is now picking up, or it's somewhere where it's even meeting in the middle? How much grace should an individual give themselves before giving up?
Well, it's a judgmental thing in a way. You got to apply your own judgment, or seek advice. There's no harm seeking advice. To say, is that the right thing I'm going to do? That is a better way to start. As I said earlier, many startups have not seen the light of the day. They close before even they can see it. Yeah. So better seek some advice and say, okay, this is the information I have. Where do I go? How do I start up? That will be a better way of doing things. You got a lot of people, seasoned people in the country to advise you. There's nothing wrong.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And when you do listen to these seasoned people, thank you so much. Please give a warm hand for that amazing advice. When you do listen to seasoned people, you will also get to hear how they failed and failed miserably. But one thing they did not do was stop. They continued on and continued on, learning and unlearning and trying to achieve something. The other thing is also, as you're doing your research, one thing I've also learned is start. You can start with the most minimal of resources, but just start. All right? Is there anybody else who'd like something to say? Do so, yes, Tapadali. Let's give a warm hand for the publisher in the room. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much. I just have a point to add on to what he has said. A part of that research actually comes from the lessons that you learn along the way that builds the intelligence that you have. Most of these insights or secrets that are powering big businesses are coming from experiential lessons, so that the idea of scaling is actually there and useful for people who have learned at a lower scale, have known what works, what doesn't, have been able to build a system that specifically addresses the issues and the opportunities that are related to their businesses, and now they are able to make it big. Most of this information is not found in textbooks. Sometimes you will pick something from experienced people like him. When he's talking, he's actually talking from what he knows out of experience. And that experience takes very long. It takes very long to build. And if you are not willing to go in there as a learner, most of us want to go in there to make money. And we drop this learning mentality. And when you get to a place where you're supposed to learn, you start asking questions, why is it not working? Sometimes it is not, why is it not working? It is, what am I supposed to learn here? Right. Because what makes it work is the lessons you have learned and the intelligence that builds out of that and how you use that to build a system. For example, customers are not the same. There are customers that you win by giving them quality, and there are others that you win by being patient with them. There are others that you win by talking to them nicely, you see. For example, the question that he raised, the right answer to the question is, it depends. What are you looking for? If you are looking to make money, then that's not a good deal. But if you are looking to build a relationship or to demonstrate how good you are at the work, you pick it, you use it to demonstrate. Then you make money on the next client. So the next client you're going to talk to, you will tell them, by the way, we actually served this person, and this is how it came out for them. So you're using that credibility to speak to the next client. And when you're in business, you don't treat all clients the same. The clients I served 2 years ago, the rate I gave them is different from the rate I am giving today. Because 2 years ago, maybe I was starting, and now I have built myself, I have demonstrated my credibility and my results. And so when I'm going to speak to the next client, I've even built experience. So when I'm going to serve the next client, I'm serving this next client with a wealth of experience, which is more expensive than where I was 2 years ago. So as a business person, you must be a learner. And sometimes that research that he's talking about is the pains you will go through and learn from. So the things you don't learn from will keep pinching you, knocking you, making you have high blood pressure, and all those bad things.
Let's give a warm hand. Absolutely. Again, it's a thing of learning, but also don't only lean on your own experiences. Talk to others. Find out from people in the industry. Yeah, what like now you in photography, I'm sure you always have to know what the new camera is, what the new software is. But it's the same thing with business, because business evolves with time. I'm sure even for Mr. Duso, when he's even with the clients, when he's changed his price, they'll agree to change the price with him because they lean on his expertise and his quality of service. So also make sure that when you're demanding that money, you're also delivering as well. Right? Okay. All right. So I don't know if Wendy has stepped out. We are to have now our panel session. Is Wendy out there? All right. I will remind you again as we wait for Wendy to come in that you need to make sure you grab your book. It can be gotten here outside of the table. We tell you sitting right outside there. Or you can get it later on if you can't get it today from your bookstore or from the website, which you can use. Remember to scan the QR code on your table talkers. As you're scanning the QR codes, also get a little bits and pieces from the book. Each table has its own unique saying, so get to see what is exactly being said and is a quote directly from Reena's book. All right. Now, I'd like to welcome my guests. We usually call this the panel session, but I like to call it a podcast session because I'm a podcaster. And we are recording this as well. And I'm doing this on behalf of Unleash and Thrive. I hope you're okay with me guest hosting for you today. Okay, great. Then I'd like to invite our guest. She has spoken here today. She's given her experiences, but we're going to learn a little bit more from her. Let's welcome Wendy Lois to the stage. Let's give her a warm hand. We can do better than that, a warm hand. All right. Wendy, please. All right, thank you so much. So as she sits down, let me introduce Wendy. So our panelist today is Wendy Lois, a dynamic media and communications professional whose voice has become synonymous and meaningful conversations and impactful storytelling. As a sought-after MC, skilled panel moderator, and public speaker, Wendy has built a reputation for creating engaging conversations that leave audiences informed, inspired, and motivated to act. Her work spans leadership and governance, business growth, and personal branding, where she has consistently demonstrated a unique ability to connect people with ideas that matter. Oh, yes. Okay, fine. All right. Let me finish off with Wendy's profile. She believes that every conversation has the power to spark change. And today she brings the same energy, clarity, and professionalism to our discussion on one of the biggest challenges facing entrepreneurs, turning profitable businesses into financially healthy ones. Please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Wendy Lois. All right. We also have the benefit of having another panelist in the room. Let's give a warm hand to Chemutai Ruto. Karibu sana. Amazing. Chemutai, you'll just take a seat right next to Wendy. Now, as she steps up, let me introduce her as well. Now, joining Wendy on our panel is Chemutai Ruto, an accomplished entrepreneur, branding strategist, and business growth expert with a passion for helping businesses scale through intentional strategy and sustainable systems. As a founder and CEO of Gallant Branding International, Chemutai has spent years working with entrepreneurs and organizations to strengthen their brands, sharpen their markets, positioning, and build businesses that are not only profitable but resilient. She is also a strong advocate for continuous learning and leadership development, bringing both practical experience and strategic insights to every conversation. Today, she'll help us unpack one of the most pressing questions for every entrepreneur. Why do some businesses make profits on paper but still struggle with cash in the bank? Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Chemutai Ruto. All right, ladies, I hope you're well settled in. Karibu sana. All right, now, this is the one question that a lot of people struggle with. You look very nice out there, you've packaged yourself well on social media, you're trending, but then now you hear later that so-and-so is struggling and asking for raising funds for this, that, and the other. And I think now with social media, the picture that is painted is quite different as you would compare to maybe some of the older generations who have been here. Am I right? Now, back to you, ladies and gentlemen. We've all heard someone say business is doing well, sales are up, orders are coming in, the books show a healthy profit, yet behind the scenes, salaries are delayed, suppliers are calling, the rent is due, the bank account is almost empty. How can a business be profitable and still be broke? That's a question at the heart of our conversation today. Now, I will go straight into the questions, and I'll start with you, Wendy. I'll begin with a simple question, by the way, for the both of you. When you hear the phrase profitable on paper, broke at the bank, what immediately comes to your mind?
Debts. That's what's coming to my mind.
Pure and simple.
Yeah.
I'll ask you the same.
What comes to my mind is a lending institution that doesn't earn interest. Yeah.
So when you say a lending institution that doesn't earn interest, is that now in terms of a business or is that in terms of an actual institution?
You see, if you're profitable on paper,
yes,
but very broke, it means that your money is out there and not according to your will.
Right.
So you're simply like a bank or a microfinance institution that doesn't earn interest, because every lender earns interest, but you're here not earning interest.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. When it comes to cash flow versus profit, many entrepreneurs celebrate signing a big client or issuing a large invoice. I think we've talked about it here in this room today. At what point should they stop celebrating and start thinking about cash flow? I'll ask you, Chemtai, on that.
From day one, I think the gentleman here mentioned something very critical.
Mm-hmm.
The client list is not, it's not a list to take to a runway. It's not a list to, thump your chest and say, I've bagged this big client. Actually, a good client does not matter whether they have a big name or a small name. A good client is the one that will pay you and respect your business.
Right.
So when I see people actually celebrating big clients, it's not a bad thing, because sometimes big clients, especially banks, are very good pairs and they're equally big clients.
Right.
But you can get what she mentioned over there. She said they can take even 6 months and they're probably dealing with a very big corporate.
Right.
That's a client that will get you on your knees faster than anything can. Yeah.
Right. When it comes to discipline versus the market force, many SMEs blame late paying customers. In your opinion, is late payment simply the cost of doing business today, or are there practical things business owners can do to protect themselves?
I will allude to what we said earlier in the room. When you're putting your product into the marketplace, and it varies from the services or actual products that you're giving out, there's an underlying fabric that speaks to the people running the business. So, and I will tie it to the question that you really asked at first. Branding is good, and absolutely, I am a pro-advocate of personal branding. It's good to look good on social media, but let that translate to the kind of income that you're having.
Right.
I remember one of the conversations I had with Reena. I said, earlier on in my career, the mistake I did was working with money I had not seen. So I walk into this room, I network, and people say, I will give you this job. I have something for you in 2 months. And you follow up with a meeting and even secure a contract. That doesn't mean you have the job.
Right.
So what you do, you go spend money in the anticipation that you will get paid. And then 6 months down the line, from the basics of utilities, you can't hold fort for your premises. Then you can't pay salaries. And when you get into debt, even when the money comes, it's usually very hard for you to come out, because it then becomes a vicious cycle.
Right.
So to directly answer the question, yes, it speaks to the kind of discipline you have even when you're running your business. It speaks into the kind of hunger you have and drive. I was telling Reena in the same podcast, it's good to be hungry, but what are you hungry for? Because if you're hungry and you have no structures, you'll be out feeding from every table. As a business person, it's important for you to set boundaries and say, I would only stretch up to this place, because at the back of my mind, I know I have a business to run, I have people who are dependent on me, and I'm only willing to compromise up till then. That will speak to your discipline.
Let me even piggyback off of that and ask you, Chemtai, what real contingencies can a person have? Like, you've gotten for the first time a 3 million shilling contract, which you have to satisfy by, making sure that your suppliers are there and their needs are met, and you actually have to borrow money to be able to fulfill that need as you wait for that money. Are there any real contingencies that can really guard an individual, an SME, as they go through that motion?
So I like sharing from my own lived experience. And what I can say to most businesses, he mentioned, he has left the room, but he mentioned that there's so many businesses that don't get to see the light of the day. Yeah. So what really stops growth most of the time is capital, because you realize that you'll get your big order, and the next question is, no, what next? Where do I get the money? So there's business, on this other end is capital, and capital has a staircase. At the very beginning of your business, you really have to rely on friendships and family to be able to, take the first step. But as you do that, you need to do it with a lot of diligence and compliance, so that you can elevate to the next level and maybe start talking to the microfinance institutions or the banks.
Right.
Also, the choice. Remember, she's talked about something which I call niche. You need to be very clear from the beginning who is going to be your client. Some niche clients have very good relationships with the banks in such a way that if you're going to work with them, when you approach the bank, they can easily finance for you that order because they know this is a good payer. So contingencies do exist, but it takes a lot of pragmatic planning from the beginning. You have to be intentional, you have to be very disciplined because when you're starting, you need to really spend the least you can so that you rack up your profits so that you're able to reinvest into your business.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think we tend to forget our immediate supporters, our family, our friends, and tend to go, even when we're marketing, for the wider markets. I like what you said. Sometimes even when you're having that contingencies, look at the people who are within arm's reach. Wendy,
let me
go ahead.
Let me add to that and really throw a spanner into the works that will be a bit controversial, let's
Okay.
say. When you're defining your who, your what, your when, and your where, we usually say businesses do stand on the 3 Fs, I think: family, friends, and fools. They're the ones who will catapult you to the next level. But the thing is, keep your mind open to your immediate circle might not be your target audience. For example, my lived experience. My background is in media. I was in mainstream media, then I came to digital media, so I do a lot of public speaking. My very tight group of friends are not interested in public speaking. They wouldn't be here today. They are more in entertainment and travel. And I really struggled with that. I'm like, I've put the posters out. I'm saying I'll be at this event. Why are you not volunteering to be there for me, to buy the tickets? Because that's how I get my income. And it took for us to have a very tough decision and for me to be open-minded that, you know what, this is not their cup of tea as well. So they will support once or twice. And what did I do? Then I pivoted. I started intentionally networking with people who understood my why. I went into rooms to get acquaintances and friends who are in the space of operation that I am. So that when I speak passionately on the mic, then they understand and they're willing to put their money there. And I left my friends and family for grand events that, come and support. Yeah. So it's a good basis for us to start, but keep open that they could not be your target audience. They will probably not even understand the vision that it is that you're carrying. So let that not deter you from exploring other markets and possibilities of networks with other people.
That's true. You really have to segment your audience the way you would even on social media. You have to know who's going to be with you till the end, ride with you, and those who are there for a season, those who are there for certain events, because you cannot wallow in self-pity for too long, especially being an entrepreneur. Now, piggybacking off of that, relationships, there's a delicate line between relationships and finance. Very delicate line. And it's a thing that entrepreneurs really struggle with a lot of the time. So where should entrepreneurs draw the line between accommodating clients, even sometimes who are friends and family, and protecting the financial wealth of their businesses?
I like that you've actually mentioned two things. You're talking about relationships and finance.
Yes.
Relationships involve emotions, finance do not. So, from the word go, it's important to understand the difference between relationships and finance. Just because you're my friend, I'm going to be empathetic with you, be able to support you, give my best. But when it comes to paying, you pay the price for what you've received. So, and I see this a lot, especially with, sorry to say this, with women as opposed to men.
Right.
Men are very, you'll actually realize, either career-wise in the job space or in the business space, men are very, they actually do so well in both sides. And it's because they're not emotional about money. As women, the moment I come to you with a sob story, I even, pull a chair to first listen.
Right.
Then we start discussing the business.
Yep.
You get? So it is very important that you don't even price emotionally. You always price according to the profit that you set to make for your business.
Yes.
And you price based on the inputs. There's so many factors to pricing. and that is what determines your profitability. And it even determines who you're going to serve. Because before you serve any client, it's very important. You get, he's mentioned that there's the credit rating element. For me to rate your credit worthiness, I want to know who has offered services to you before, and do they have the confidence that you're a good payer?
Right.
So I cannot bring emotions to the fact that you're my friend. I'm going to apply the same standards to you as my friend, and actually expect you as my friend to respect my business better than a stranger would.
Exactly, because it's a service, it's not a favor at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When it comes to practical solutions, what are some of the simplest cash flow habits every SME should adopt even before hiring a finance manager?
I will talk on soft skills, self-awareness, especially if you're jumping from employment to entrepreneurship. You need to be very self-aware.
Right.
This means you will not constantly be seeking validation from your clients and your market. Just to tie to what she mentioned. You see, the reason why women get very emotional is you seek validation from external factors.
Right.
So you show up so that they validate you and grow your business, and you put emotions into that. But most of the times that will work in your detriment. But if you're very self-aware, and I need not to have your validation for me to know that I'm excelling in my industry, I will keep going. The other thing is boundaries. Right from the onset, just know that there are limits that you're not willing to cross. There are things that you're not willing to do. There are spaces that you're not willing to subscribe and supply, because that is just the fabric underneath your operation. Yeah.
Now, Chemtai, back to that thin line we have drawn. How can entrepreneurs negotiate better payment terms without damaging client relationships? The look on your face tells it all.
No, I'm wondering why you should be negotiating for better terms. You need to have your own terms.
Right.
Because you know the true health of your business. You know, if you're going to give credit for 60 days, you're going to be calling 60 people to be able to even meet your payroll. So you have no business accepting a 60-day credit terms payment.
Yes.
So again, I go back. I really like for business owners to understand their numbers. And I align with Reena so much on that, because if you base your business on numbers, there's so many decisions that are effortless to make. So there's the relationship, and your relationship is on so many other factors. Your timeliness, your speed of delivery. There's so many factors that you can actually nurture your relationship along. But when it comes to the finance side of things, also your client has to build their relationship with you.
Yes, absolutely. Now, let's touch on, I love that you're letting us into your lives. Thank you very much. But when it comes to personal experiences, have either of you ever experienced a season where your business looked so successful from the outside? And your LinkedIn was popping. And but at the end of the day, the cash flow told a completely different story. And what did you learn from that experience? Let's start with you, Andy.
Absolutely. I operate, people are my business. When I was in mainstream media, I was in KTN News, and in our country, there's some level of pressure that comes in with media personalities. Once you land a role, it's not just seen as a job, but everyone poses their expectations on you. So what I started doing then is changing my normal lifestyle that I could not fund at the time. I was really young. So when the end of the month comes, you're already in debt, even when you're being paid. And it's because I was constantly trying to put up with people's expectations over me.
Right.
And then I pivoted and went into digital media, and I started doing corporate emceeing. Of course, when you're walking into rooms, your client needs for you to look the part. So, and you ask this as a personal question, and I'll give very practical examples. So every event is a different outfit. You have to arrive in style. There was so much pressure that consumed my mind that I was not seeing the red flags of I can't sustain this. So a day to the event is, hi Myra, please dash me some 10K. Please, I'll be paid, I'll do this. And then you realize the gap
kept widening, and I couldn't afford that.
Right.
So Instagram was popping. I was looking really good. LinkedIn, the reviews, I was looking like I had it all figured out.
Mm-hmm.
And then our African culture, your uncle, your auntie, everyone is asking you for a 5K.
Right.
So how don't you have 5K and you're on planes every other day, you're in these rooms, you're with Waheshimiwas, make it make sense. So what I learned from that, number one, was to say no. If you're paying me beforehand to come and MC your event, girl, oh girl, I will show up in style because I can afford to do that for your event. If you're giving me on credit, I will go to my closet, look for what looks really good to represent my brand, but I will not break my back. And I learned to say, no, I don't have. No, I cannot. The first few no's were really uncomfortable.
Right.
I would say no and put my phone on flight mode because how don't I have? And then I realized life moved on. Life actually did move on. Then I started clearing my debt and I started being intentional. Not every networking room needs me because I can't be there. And I started saying, it's okay. I would rather have 3 intentional ones that I know I can get something out of it. And I came out of the high of social media. And I will speak to the young people in the room. Social media is a walking resume. It's like LinkedIn. You can go to someone's LinkedIn profile and really get pressurized until you meet that person and they can't articulate what it is they've written there. Same way with Instagram and TikTok. I mean, from today, and I hope we will get very good pictures that will have very good captions and hashtags, let's put it up there. But always go back to the core of who you are and the truth of your existence. That's a platform for sharing. But at the end of the day, who am I? And it's okay to say no.
Absolutely. It's okay. Just, it's one sentence. No. Let's say it together. No. Exactly. Thank you so much, Randy, for that. I'll ask you the same question. What have you learned in your journey?
I'm in the manufacturing space for one of my businesses. And, you know, while starting out, I think I had a lot of money. Or so I thought. Because business is very interesting. You know, I like saying that I'm in this journey as a business owner, and I love to learn alongside other business owners because every 6 months I seem to need a new strategy. So what happens is it's very easy to have a lot of money, especially towards the end of the year. I don't know, for some reason, every December, January, there's always a lot of money in my business, and it's very easy.
To the choir. We know that feeling.
And I remember at the beginning of my business, Decembers were lit, you know. Then January comes, and I can't even meet, you know, a school fee. You know, there's now, I'm really struggling.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it may not be that I was not so big on social media, but of course I was within my circle.
Right.
I was something. So those are things I learned way earlier, I think within the first to the third year of the business. Of course, the first year you don't realize it because also your overheads are quite low. Now when you get into the factory floor where every day you open that door, whether you sell or you do not sell, you're spending, it becomes something else. And the beauty about business is it will humble you. You'll either shut down or you will, you know, pull up your socks. You know, you either shape up or you ship out, literally. Yes. So I think we've been in that space, but the moment you got into the space where now we're engaging an accountant, you're making decisions based on paper. What can we afford this? Can we not afford this?
Right.
We get to a point where you're now earning a salary as a business owner. Because before, actually, the business bank account was my bank account.
Right.
Actually, didn't have a personal bank account.
Everything was flowing
from the business account. I even use the card you get for the business in the supermarkets.
Right.
I remember when I got an auditor and it was so embarrassing. You know, you have those, you have unnecessary expenditure. I remember the interesting one was I even had my kid had subscribed to a game using my business card. You cannot even explain.
Right.
So at the beginning, I think those are the lessons, the price you pay to learn. Yeah.
Right. I think we could visualize every time you are speaking about that expenditure from one place, your child over here just spending all your money on credit card games. But those lived experiences, as we wind up, what would you say would lead to, what would you say have you've managed to decode? We don't have it all right? We're always learning and unlearning. But since we're talking about decoding business growth, what would you say you have managed to somewhat decode in your business strategy, in your business life, Wendy?
Oh, wow. I guess all facets are still work in progress. But I think the one thing that I have been able to really do is show up with authenticity. And that has translated in so many ways. Being authentic in what I can take as credit, just what we've said earlier in the conversation, and what I can't. Being very truthful in what I can deliver and what I can't. As I said before, I mean, my people are my business. And in my space, the kind of referrals that go around either make or break you.
Right.
You're one job away from never getting a referral, and you're one mic away from securing your bag, a good one. So showing up authentically has really helped me, because then I'm just living my truth as I operate. And that speaks to even the kind of money I make. And that has just been the truth, and that has helped me really sieve the chaff from the maize and be comfortable in that space. And also just understanding that there are seasons.
Right.
There are seasons.
Right.
And we call it science, call it faith, call it everything alludes to life has seasons. There are silos, there are ups and there are downs. And when you're down, don't beat yourself further down to the ground. And when you're up, please do remember that time can possibly change. So it's just understanding that and showing up in a lot of authenticity.
Absolutely. Even just adding on to that, I don't know who it was, but somebody told me, take the time when things are right to take stock, not when things are going bad and say, things are failing me. When you're in that good place is when you evaluate all aspects of where you could have gone right or wrong. All right. Thank you so much, Wendy.
Thank you, Wendy and Myra. I think all the business owners in this room, just one thing I've picked, and it's very critical for growing and scaling a business, is give yourself the grace. It will not always be so smooth. Anyway, to answer your question, it is very doable to actually build a great business. And it starts with you visualizing. We talk about visions as in businesses. And I say this to my fellow entrepreneurs. Your vision has to be very clear, because your vision must remain the same. The road to the vision can change, but your vision cannot change. Because if your vision keeps changing, it means you don't know yet what you even have no business doing business.
Right.
Yeah, so when your vision is clear, now you feed onto your vision. And the other critical thing, I'll again speak from my own experience, how I really transform my business into what I call a business, is the fact that I decided that I'm going to use people to get results. The other thing you see with people is we are very afraid of hiring, We want to be the janitor, we want to be the person doing the invoices, doing the debt collection. But what you fail to realize is you're taking away so much time from your plate that you cannot even afford to pay. That business that you're doing actually can't even afford you. So it means you're almost running a charity. So start by allocating yourself a salary. If you're going to decide that you're the level of CEO, ask yourself, as CEO running such a business, how much would they earn? You may not afford it at the beginning, but the goal is to make sure that your business can afford you.
Right.
So secondly is, as the business owner, you have two jobs, okay? You should be in charge of strategic partnerships. you may have a sales team. Your sales team can manage to say, let's say, close accounts here and there. But there's the instance where we have the giant accounts, which should be in every business. At the point where you need to close the giant account, it always requires a lot of planning, a lot of relationships like we're talking about. So if you're going to be the one receiving calls on so-and-so has not paid, so-and-so, how much time are you going to create to be able to go and meet the CFO of Safaricom? You know, because all these things begin way before they even unfold in public.
Right.
So if you truly want to build a great business, you must create time for strategic partnerships. Secondly, is making sure that you hire the right people. Okay. For me, I feel like what has really helped my business is in making sure that I have the best hires, and I'm focusing on getting the big business. What is in between is sorted either by finance or by operations, where I come into to support.
Right,
yes.
right.
So again, it is very doable, and it depends with what you're looking at. If you're dreaming small, I can assure you attract small. If you're dreaming big, you attract big. And the capacity comes.
Right.
You know, like every level of business requires a new you, absolutely. So you also need to be you need to have very high adaptability so that you're able to unlock each level.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Myra, allow me to just add onto what has been said real quick. As you're building, I teach, I speak, I breathe and live personal branding. Even your business is a brand, and that caught my attention when she said it take a lot of strength and scrutiny when you're hiring. The people around you, the culture that you build around, when you walk into a room, it will speak for itself. In communication, we say people see you before they hear you. And communication starts even before the utterances of the words.
Right.
It speaks to how you walk, how you eat, how you salute people. So know the job begins even before you start telling us about your job. So you can be the confident one at the peak of the chain, but because you want to save money, in between here, your hires are wanting. Remember, every time you're sending them to the field, they are your foot soldiers. And the brand they are creating is, don't take us too seriously.
Right.
You know, they go in, they don't speak the brand that you have. And we are living in very competitive times, both on the ground and on digital platforms. It's just a sound reminder that always be aware and cautious of your brand. Even simple salutations. There are many times I've met people who probably at the time I'm not thinking about it, and then they even message you, "Hi, I saw you today and I couldn't say jambo." Then it crosses my mind, what was I doing? How was I placed? So nowadays I take it upon myself to ensure even the people I surround myself with, even the rooms I walk into, the spaces I connect myself, that they are a constant reminder of my network, my net worth, and my personal branding. Personal branding sets people apart night and day.
Absolutely. Ladies, I'd like to thank you so much. There's so many learned experiences from what you've just discussed right now. For those, before we go, personal branding. Before you leave, if people want to interact with you, where can they find you, Wendy?
For sure. My social media handles are Wendy Loyce, that is WENDY, Loyce with a YLOYCE. I'm very happy to give my number for personal trainings and bookings, 0718 344 223. That is 0718 344 223. Let's all become better at communication and branding. That's our contribution to the society. And thank you for having me and listening to me. Thank you.
Thanks, Myra. First, for the pleasure to be under so much pressure on the stage.
I know. I didn't send anybody questions here. They came raw and ready. Thank you.
So, I'm very active on LinkedIn and currently really trying on Instagram before I go dance on TikTok. But my name on my socials is Chemutai Ruto. Chemutai with a U, Ruto just RUTO. And I tell Reena so many times, I'm very passionate about profit because I know Without profit, you won't be able to scale that business.
Mm.
So you'll find me hosting events that I invite experts like Reena. I'm actually hosting Reena this Saturday.
Awesome.
To probably, you may want to join the room and maybe get a sneak peek of the book well in advance. I'm so elated. Yeah, so I host so many events for business owners where we learn together in the room. And my main agenda, since I already discovered that to actually scale your business, you require external capital. That's what you'll find me talking about a lot. I'll be talking to guys with the funds, either the banks, the VCs, the PEs. There's so many levels of capital that I really take time to understand because I'm ready for that equity level. Thank you.
Amazing. Let's give a warm hand for the ladies today morning. Thank you so much for your time and for availing yourself for this conversation. Thank you so much. Can we have a few pictures before we head out? Reena, could you also join us? Laban, can we have something playing in the background? Let's give them a warm hand as they come down from the stage. Thank you so much. I hope you get to interact with them, take time to interact with them. And for those who are watching at home or in your offices, because we're live on Unleash and Thrive podcast page right now. We're live on Icon Radio. Thank you so much for partnering on this. Make sure that you try as much as possible to go to the website. I don't know if we're giving that information in the comment section, but let's try and get this book. Again, it's a cheat sheet for any business owner. Decoding Business Growth by Reena Gore. Make sure that you go to the website, reenagore.net. If you're not having access to the QR code right now, if you're in the room, get your book and get to meet Reena after this and get a personally signed autographed book, right after this. And also, you can get it from Nuria Bookstore, right? Now, for the main person of the hour, let's get ready to welcome the chief guest and convener of this special occasion. I'd like us just to stand and stretch a little bit. Just stand and stretch a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's stand and stretch. Make sure that we get ready for this conversation. Are you well and stretched? Now stretch out your hands. And then put them together. Let's start clapping. And let's welcome Reena.
Good afternoon. I'm really thankful that this place is filled with the people who are aligned with my vision, my ethics, all those things that I carry. Most importantly, let me start thanking Myra, Sammy, his team. Great job. Yesterday, by night, I was under so much pressure, and we were still talking with Myra at 11:30. I messaged even Cheputai in the night, yes, please, and she was so kind, She was just checking on me. Are you all right, Reena? That means so much to me. Thanks for that. To be honest, I talk a lot on a lot of events, but for today, I have not prepared anything. So I thought, let it be a very free flow, whatever comes from my heart. Let me start with something that goes core back to my family. There's a saying, behind a successful man, there is a woman. But behind a successful woman, there is a whole family who stands with her. She cannot do it all alone. Though it might look there is, the name is my name on the book, but it's my family who has been there with me. On those nights, when I say I can't cook today, they are ready to compromise and say, it's okay, I'll cook, I'll help, let's order something. When I'm not well, they'll be there to take care of me. So all that matters to me is my family. That's the core as a person who I am. And I really felt crying when my sons, my husband is talking all that about me. Sometimes you are thinking that you are just a normal person, a book is out, that's okay. But now this event has made it so special for me. So thank you so much. Now let's talk about book. When I was doing my chartered accountancy, when we are studying, people would say that, you refer to that author. His book, if you study and you practice that, you will definitely clear the exams. And from that time, there was, like a young girl, I had an imagination. One day I will write something like that people will go and refer to it. And I feel this is the moment now, today. This book is not only something that has come out now. I think I was manifesting it for a long time. I really wanted to do something to people which, when they read, they can implement immediately. There are tools, there are solutions. Because I have read a lot of books, entrepreneurs, the business consultants, coaches who have written. And a lot of them, they talk about leadership as a person, self-awareness, and I do agree those ones are important, very important. There are books that are taught in universities, in colleges, when you're doing your BCom, economics, finance, all those degrees. But what are we learning right now? What is a customer, how to pass an entry, what is debit, what is credit, how economy works. It's all good. We need to learn that. Very important. But when you go to a workplace, and that's the gap I have been seeing, we hire new interns. They come with a theoretical knowledge. And when they are on the ground, you start, you have to start now teaching them. They should start learning few things. This is how a corporate work culture works. This is how the hierarchy works. You need to learn this. You need to know how to talk to your boss, how to talk to your colleague, how to manage things. When the same person, a new entrepreneur with Kenya being such a talented country right now, isn't it? With AI, we have so much potential to grow, right? Everyone wants to start up a business. And as it was discussed earlier, a lot of businesses close down. And I was constantly thinking, what can I do? What role can I play to help this? How can I do something whereby if they read that, if I teach them something, the businesses, they understand the basics and they can at least, step up from being a startup to a company where they can actually grow. And that's how this book came in. Now, what does this book talk about? It's about 3 basic pillars which I feel are the foundation for any business. That is finance, people, and operations. Who have been there with me by now, they know by heart, like Myra, my kids, FPO method. It's a framework. Because a business cannot run if you're not looking at your numbers. Business cannot run without right people in the right job and you giving them that, the right tools. You empower them, train them, have those professional metrics in place. Also operations, we talk about people, we talk about finance, but how many times do we really sit that, operations is something that we really need to monitor, even if not daily, weekly, monthly, consistently. How can we bring all these things in one place so that now businesses, when they look at all these 3 frameworks, finance, people, and operations, you know that your business cannot literally go wrong. Contingencies, as we discussed, all the issues that have been discussed, I'm so happy. All those things have been covered in my book as a case study. Like, for example, one of the case study that I have put in the people section is about having that tough discussion with your employee on the performance. First, set up a performance metric, and then when that performance is not happening the way you want, because many times we hire our families, isn't it? It happens a lot. How do we have that tough conversation now? Now I have to go and tell, you're not performing, you go home. It's very difficult. And that's how we tend up, there is another employee who is really sharp, smart, and can perform better, and that person start feeling frustrated. That now, no matter how much I perform, because that person is from family, is going to get that advantage. How do you come out of that? Have those tough conversations. How do you put that performance metrics in place? Is all that I have discussed in one case study. That's the reason I say, this book is a complete practical toolkit. Nothing less than a toolkit. If you have an issue and you really feel, how do I do this? Just open a chapter related to that. So for example, if you think there is I have been working well on my finance, I also handle people not very efficiently, but yes, I don't see any real issues there. But now operations, what about it? How do I really see my operations performances? How do I monitor them? It is also divided into 5 to 6 chapters, because customer service, it's kind of getting, it's not getting that attention the way it used to be. Customer service has to be one of the prime important metric. Is your customer really satisfied? How are you treating those issues, the complaints? Are you monitoring? Do you have a complete department who takes care of it? Most importantly, are you training your customer service department that this is the way, this is my company policy, this is the way people should be treated, my customers should be treated? We talked about policies on giving terms to the customers. Have you set up those systems in place that when I have a customer, like exactly Ms. Chimutai said, when I onboard a customer, I already have a checklist that if 1, 2, 3 metrics, these are green, these are the prime importance. If these 3 check boxes are not done, I would rather not do business. And it is really important, like Wendy said, to say no. Even me, I have learned it very hard way. I got a lot of offers because now, as I started getting active on LinkedIn, I started getting offers like, can you do this for me? Can you? And I would go for a meeting. But when I understand the customer, it would take more time for me to convince him that I'm doing the right thing than actually showing the performance. So I would rather work with people who think that performance matters more than me being physically there. Right now in Kenya, what I'm trying to do, book is one thing, but I'm also trying to bring in that culture that you can hire a CFO, a fractional CFO, which you really need, the company really needs. But businesses are set up with that old mindset that I want to see that person on my company premises throughout the day. Only then. But if, for example, if you're paying $1 million shilling to a CFO, okay, and that person has actually the work of only 2 hours a day, what is making you happy to see that person 8 hours is what that's something the puzzle, I would love someone can have answers on that. But yes, so if you have those processes in place, let's come back to the book. If you have those processes in place, it makes your life so much easier. And that's what I have been stressing on so much in all my talks or even my book or even any LinkedIn post that I do. Have those systems, systematic approach to your business. A lot of time people ask, my business is just startup. I'm doing everything alone. What is the right time I should start hiring employees? For me, I always say, you should plan for next 6 months or 1 year if you want to grow. Hire one, you have to. You cannot be doing exactly like she said, you cannot be raising invoice, following with a customer and still start building strategic relationships. You will go through a tough time, but it's okay. That's how the businesses will grow. You will not have, people look for perfection. You want that perfect amount of money in your bank, and that is the time I will grow. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, so yes, that's all Decoding Growth. Business growth is all about helping businesses grow with a practical approach. Each and every chapter has a case study and a solution, a FPO lens, what I call, which gives you an idea from finance, people, and operations perspective, and a lesson that you have learned through each chapter. I strongly believe this book, if any entrepreneur reads it, he will or she will definitely do a much better job and will be able to manage it in a better way so that they are ready to grow. I would like to thank you, and please, if you feel that this book will make sense, share this one with all your friends, people that you are having businesses. The main aim is they should grow. Thank you.
Let's give a warm hand to Reena one more time. Reena, before you leave the stage, please join us once more. I just have a few questions for you. Let's have the microphone. So, Reena, let's have a seat. You have managed to put in a lot of your experience into this book, like your sons were saying, working on the field, getting your research. But right now we're finding a lot more younger people getting into business, not like during our time. We'd wait to go to the workplace first and then learn, I need to be an entrepreneur. For those who are getting to the workplace, what is one valuable lesson they need to carry with them and they could probably also get from the book?
One most important lesson I would like, it has been already talked about, I would still like to emphasize again, is please split your personal expenses from your business. Whatever your business is earning, it's a separate entity.
Mm-hmm.
Don't confuse it with your income. Keep those accounts separate and maintain a discipline for an emergency fund.
Mm-hmm.
As we all know, we are walking into a year where next year the businesses can go up and down. We don't know. So please create an emergency fund for that.
Right. That's actually really important because we don't know what things like this can hold. We've heard about El Nino and then now there's politics.
Correct.
That emergency fund, how best can somebody plan for that? Because you can't have an emergency fund, but emergency is relative. It could be anything.
Yes.
How best then do they say that this is the emergency fund I can work with?
I believe 20%, not your profit, 20% of your revenue is what you should keep it aside as a revenue, as an emergency fund.
Right. And when it comes to, I think Chairman had mentioned about working with people, how do you decipher the relationships and the right people to come in place? Because there are two things. There's family and there's also affordable. Let's not say cheap.
Yes.
There's affordable. How
Yes.
do you decipher the right people to have in your workforce so that you're able to continue the work?
For me, affordable, I don't see an issue because right now, Kenya has a big pool of talent, right? It's you to select the right person. Not always the right person is going to ask you for a hire. You can hire an intern out from a university, but check whether that person has that, that energy, that thrive to learn. Someone you can align, you can have some. For me, I'm a very process-oriented person.
Right.
So I would come up with a test, like at least 10 or 20 questions. If these questions align with me, I would like to go ahead with that. But character matters the most. That the character of that person. Is it aligned to you, your vision?
Right. Yeah. Finally, what's that one thing you want people who buy this book and read it, what would you want them to take away from it?
I would like them to understand that for each and every business to grow from a normal solopreneur to a corporate, systems and processes have to be there in place. And this book is a small way of telling you how to put those systems in place.
Right.
So understand the concept that without systems in place, you really can't grow.
Thank you so much. Let's give a warm hand for Reena once again. Thank you. Let's have a picture with her first, and then we'll go straight into unveiling the book. Thank you, Reena. Now, I hope that you today who has been here with us, either physically or are watching online, have managed to take away from everybody who's spoken here, whether those who are asking questions or those who have managed to impact a little bit of wisdom on you. I'm hoping that we can build healthier business systems. I think there was one bank employee who emphasize the fact that Kenyans don't like to save. We don't have a good saving culture. That's true, right? We don't have a good saving culture. And now that the lending apps have come in, we also don't know how to borrow right. So there's so many things that we need to take up and learn as we grow in business. But we've learned today a lot about relationships. We've learned about proper structures. We've learned about credit scoring. We've learned a lot about how to basically decode business growth. But it's not enough to just hear from people in the room. It's also gaining it from, books like the ones Reena's written. Remember, this is the second book. So again, she's continuously impacting what she has learned both on the ground and in life. All right, now we're going to the main moment of the day. We're about to unleash the book. You're going to see how it looks, apart from what you've seen outside. For those who probably have not seen it yet and are watching online, you'll get to see how it looks with the prototype that's here right now. Remember, this is a book by Reena Gore, and it's letting you learn how to decode, decide, and grow, and learn more about the FPO model. All right. Now, as the team is setting up, I would like to invite Reena to come closer. Santosh as well, Advait as well, come closer. As we're unleashing the book, Laban, a little bit of music as we walk over to our setup right here. For those who have joined in, this is the launch of the Decoding Business Growth book by Reena Gore. And today we get a sneak peek into it, as well as how it looks right about now. Are we ready? Okay, Reena, I'd like you to walk right in front of the book. It's okay, we can all join her. Okay. So, Reena, I need you to stand on the other side of the book. Sorry about that. Somebody's overzealous over here. Okay. All right. So you need to hold on to, I think, is it the base of the tip? All right, hold on to the tip. Again, I love how our team is overzealous a little bit. Okay. All right, we're all excited about unleashing the book. So we hold on to the tip, and we all count down from 3, 2, 1. Let's go. They're killing me, the cake. We're about done with pictures. We need to get the cake cut. Yeah, harakishing them. We need the cake out. I don't know if you're going to use something, because now time. Nenda. All right, we have a bit of cake that we're sharing with everyone right now. It's being brought into the room. I'd like family and friends to gather around Reena as we cut the cake together. It's a beautiful cake. Again, making you understand the assignment as to why we're here. We're all about decoding business growth. And plates and forks. All right, Reena and family, I'd like to invite you to get on the stage. We have our moment as we now officially unveil the book. We're crowning it with cake this morning. Or is it this afternoon? This afternoon? Oh, it's still morning. I'm rushing the time. All right, as we unveil this morning, thank you. All right, Reena and family, please get on the stage.
I think the other one, it didn't pop, so maybe you can just pop it during the cake.
Oh, okay. Let me ask. All right, let's have the family on stage. It ain't a celebration if there's no cake. All right. All right. Now, we do have our cake, and the cake is a representation of the book that we've launched today morning, and it's stacked up because we need you stacking up these books in your corporations. Yes, we need you stacking up these books at your family gatherings, gifting them to everybody around you, and making sure that they have the tools that they need as they grow in their businesses. Reena, I'd like you to grab the knife together with your family. All right. And in 3, 2, 1, let's cut into the cake. Let's go. Let's give them a warm hand. Yes, amazing, amazing, amazing moments this morning. as we launch Decoding Business Growth. Now, Reena, I think you know our traditions by now. You cut the cake, and then now you make sure the first person to approve it is your dear husband, together with the children, and then we move from there. All right. Very good. Santosh, do you approve? Is it good? Approved. Very good. All right. Amazing. All right. Let's give a warm hand once again to Reena and the people who stand right beside her. Thank you so much, Reena. I'll have one of the friends come and help with cutting the cake so we can distribute to everybody. Let's have Corazon. Let's have and now we can, as we look forward to having some cake, you're free to mingle, you're free to network, you're free to talk. There's a meal that's going to be served in just a little bit, but for now, we indulge.
Great work. Very nice. Thank you so much. And I think there are
All right, as we... All right, before we finish up, we'd like to get a vote of thanks today morning. I'm missing out the time zones. Before we finish off, let's get a vote of thanks. Thanks, please. Okay. Right away. Yes.
Okay, wait, let me put my head together. Just.
Me and Sammy, on radio for coming and
I want to do vote of thanks. I just do vote of thanks, or I wait for the cake distribution to...
Yeah, let me just get the distribution started and then we'll give the window.
Oh, take down to the tables. Oh, I would want
want this part. Let me save this for myself because this has the name.
Very small, very small. Just it's a very small piece, just like that. Just like that.
You can just go ahead. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Even as we continue enjoying the cake that has been well prepared for us, I am honored to stand here once again and have the privilege to give the vote of thanks. It has been a successful morning, right? Ladies and gentlemen, we can do better than that. It has been a successful morning, right? A round of applause for all of us, please. Come on, let me see that. Fantastic. A round of applause for Reena. We are here because she is. Thank you. That's the energy. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, for us to enjoy this morning, we have a couple of people who have worked tirelessly. The pressure was a lot last night, and today we've enjoyed their success. We want to say a great thank you to Myra and Sammy. Let's appreciate Myra. I can attest, running a program is not easy. She was very cool, very calm. That speaks to her expertise. Myra, thank you so much. Hats off for you. We want to appreciate Icon Radio for coming and being in the house. If you're from Icon, let me hear, ooh, ooh. Fantastic. Thank you so much for warming the room for us. We have Laban and team for the streaming. Jambo, Jambo. Thank you, online viewers. We want to appreciate you as well. We have Jay Paratechnique. Thank you so much for being here. And then we want to truly say thank you to Trademark Hotel. It has been a cozy space that we've had this morning. And then we want to appreciate the family. Thank you so much. Truly, we've had the testament that if not for you, this day would not be a success. Reena, thank you for the effort you put behind this book. We appreciate you and we wish you well as we go ahead. And finally, we want to say thank you for the Almighty God for enabling this day be a success, for enabling us to gather here this day. Ladies and gentlemen, asanteni kwa kuja na tunawa celebrate sana. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, as we close off, one more person that I didn't tell Wendy about, the publisher of this book. Do so. Thank you so much for being here with us and doing amazing jobs with these books. He's not only worked with Reena, but hundreds of, and maybe say thousands of women across the country to tell their stories. If you want to find out the books that he's published along with Decoding Business Growth, follow Zion Pearl Publishers and find out more about the amazing work that they're doing. Thank you guys so much and have a fantastic day ahead.
Yes, so do so. Thank you so much. You know, I was really struggling looking for a right publisher. And somehow Myra got connected to me. I was following you for a long time, but I didn't have your direct connection. And the immediate response from you was, Reena, this book will go far. And that gave me so much confidence. You know, that time you need that. I don't know about how good it will be, but giving me that confidence has made this day possible. So thank you so much.
Give a warm hand to everybody who was involved today. Thank you guys so much, and thank you for your time. Have a fantastic time networking. Don't run away. There's still bitings outside. There's still some food. Let's get to know each other, network, and enjoy the rest of the day. Is it afternoon yet? Okay, the rest of the afternoon. All right. Thank you. Guys, there's more cake. There's more cake. Please feel free. Don't be shy. Nobody will be judging you. You can get some more cake right there on the dais.